Has Canada had its last free and fair election? Is this the end for Canada? Well, if so, who is going to run it in the end? Who is really running it now? Who's going to own it? And who may take it over? These are questions that need to be asked right now. Who are the contenders in this run, in this race for Canada? It's turned a little bit like into the Ukraine, where everybody is trying to get their fingers in it and run it. Everything except what's good for the people. Currently, right now, the biggest contenders are going to be China, who already has their claws into Canada. I've done a previous video on that you can find on one of my playlists. The EU, the European Union, they're starting to stick their nose in a little bit too, and so is the guy who's going to be running for Prime Minister to lead the country. He's very interested in taking Canada over towards the EU. Or how about the US of A? Which one is going to win it? I mean, look, Canada's put itself in this position for by over 10 years, at least 10 years, some people will tell you 20 years, of not really running the country well, of the country being hollowed out, losing head offices, losing manufacturing, getting lazy, depending too much on the US, and essentially, as the saying goes, standing on the graves of those who came before and spending the money. So Canada's left itself in this position. It's found itself weak, with only one major trading partner being the US. And now with Trump, he's putting pressure on that with tariffs. But let's look where things are going right now. There's an election going on in Canada with Trudeau on the way out. Most people are very, very happy about that. They're good to see Sockboy go. But the only problem is the guy who's come in, Mark Carney, is a banker. He's a banker, a central banker type guy who's got deep, deep, deep ties to China with the companies he's worked for in the past and those who are backing him. Once again, a worry about the China money there. He wants to keep China on side for the companies he used to work for or whatnot. Now, funny enough, he's also the guy talking about saying that Canada doesn't really need to deal with the US. We're more European than we are North American. And he's made some talks about trying to get Canada aligned with the European Union, which I think is it's just crazy to talk about doing. Now, let's look at why Canada's in this position. Number one, its economics have been going down, 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 down. That's how they've been trending. Meanwhile, our biggest neighbor, biggest trading partner to the south, the US, is ascendant, going up, 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 up. And it's only going to go farther with all of the moves that Donald Trump is making with Howard Lutnick, his Commerce Secretary, and Elon Musk turning the U.S. back into a machine. I mean, Trump has brought in billions and billions of dollars of investment for building things like chips and computers and cars and more. And he's also cutting off about $1 trillion to get his country back in shape. In fact, his promise is to eliminate income tax for those making under $150,000 a year. And he's actively wooing entrepreneurs to leave other countries and come to the U.S. Many have already done it from Canada. Some of the companies have talked about it. Others, no doubt, are thinking about it. What's this going to do to Canada? You can't have poverty on one side of an imaginary line that divides the two countries and extreme wealth growing and growing on the other side, with different tax rates over here that are lower and tax rates over here that are higher. It's going to prove stress, especially when you go to borrow money in the marketplace. In this marketplace now, wow, Canada doesn't get it. I mean, the leaders don't get it. They're in trouble, and they're going to have to deal with this. Now, let's look at one of the historic reasons as to why. You know that the state of Texas was in much the state that Canada was in many, many years ago. After they split up with Mexico and had their fights over there, their major product they sold and to everybody was cotton. And who was their major customer? The United States. So they became so dependent on dealing with the U.S. said to them, we might as well be together. And after a bit of some struggle and some fighting, they annexed Texas. And the biggest problem they had was they were very economically dependent on the U.S. Hawaii had a similar problem. Same thing. The states went in there, they looked at it, they were only trading with the U.S. That left them vulnerable. They annexed Hawaii. Can Canada be far behind? I think many on this side of the border will welcome the U.S. as liberators. Others, of course, are getting upset, but I don't think they've really looked at the economics of the situation. And with the way elections are going today, I mean, look at everybody's putting their opponents in jail. They tried to do it to Trump. They put Tommy Robinson in jail over in the UK. Conor McGregor wants to run for president of Ireland. They're threatening him with hate crimes from tweets from a couple of years ago. It's what is done today. You try to eliminate your competition by using some sort of lawfare. So I don't know why anybody would think we're going to have a fair election going forward here in Canada. Not when the game is so stacked. So this is going to be a pretty important election, and we'll see if the chips fall where they may. I'll be back at you with more. This is Ross McLean from McLean Chronicles. Subscribe, follow. Look forward to seeing you on the next video.